Hello there, my name is Zach Golden. I am the writer and director of Kestis, a Jedi Survivor story coming out on January 30th. And so in no particular order, these are my top 10 favorite Star Wars fan films. Basically every Skyforge dogfight animation that exists, amazing dogfight animations. I mean, the ships and the Star Destroyers and the X-Wings, and I mean, it looks so real. I mean, he does such a good job creating lighting and shadows and value to really make these animations come alive. And it's just really cool. Like, it's just really fun watching these space fights. Then there's also the Bucketheads fan film series. The quality of their work, everything from the set design to the costumes, the editing and the visual effects. I mean, that opening scene of the Battle of Andor was Lucasfilm level. It's just so impressive. Kenobi, starring Jamie Costa. The Kenobi fan film captures exactly what I pictured in my head as what, just really diving into his character and the struggles he would have faced living on Tatooine by himself. And then on the other side of Kenobi, there's Maul, specifically Maul Apprentice. The story is so simple. He's a Sith apprentice that gets caught by a group of Jedi, and to preserve the secret of the Sith, he's got to wipe them out. And it is by far the best lightsaber choreography, and the costumes, the makeup effects, just very impressive. Number 5 is another Darth Maul fan film, but this one's a bit older. It's like I believe it's the early 2000s, and it's Darth Maul Contracted Evil. If George Lucas had created Maul during the development of the original trilogy, this sort of feels like what that would look like. And it's just so fun. He's competing against these other Darksiders. It's a blast. I would check it out. At number 6, there's Days Past, and that one is just gripping drama. It just sucks you in. Like, you just want to understand these two and the history that they have. And it feels like a moment from the Andor series, which is currently my favorite Disney Plus Star Wars series that's out right now. Next at number 7 is the 12 Parsec Stare. That's a Boba Fett driven. It perfectly captures what Western Star Wars looks and feels like. The Boba Fett cosplay is flawless. Like, you just kind of shut your mind off to the details and you just become part of the story. And there's, I don't think, a single line of dialogue except for 1 or 2 words. So in many ways, it's a modern silent film. He's just this silent killer that walks in, gets the bounty, and walks out. At number 8, Crossroads of Destiny, which is, I think, made by the same people who did the Contract of Evil fan film. And again, it feels very original trilogy, but still set in the prequel era. And it's a blast. There's very few fan films with Shakti as a main character, let alone a supporting character. So it's really cool to see her take the spotlight. And there's tons of other prequel era Jedi that are in there as well. And the makeup effects is phenomenal. I mean, it's professional work. Then another one is Rebel Scum, and that one's really cool because the soundtrack, they used Gustav Holst's Planets. That's the same orchestral music that John Williams was inspired by when he scored Star Wars. And the story takes place on Hoth, which is a super unique location for a fan film. Most of the time they take place in the woods. He's just a pilot trying to get home, and he runs into a scout trooper along the way. And very well made, very nostalgic in its own right. Coming in at number 10, but certainly not the least, is Star Wars Legends Legacy of the Force. This one has sort of a special place in my heart because I have some really good friendships with some of the people behind the scenes who worked on the film. And anytime there's some sort of sense of community, I always tend to be drawn to that sort of a thing. And Legacy of the Force is great. The set design is probably the best thing about it. And if you're a fan of Legends content, specifically post Return of the Jedi, you would really enjoy that one, so I would go check that out. That's my top 10 favorite Star Wars films of all time. I'm gonna leave a link in the description below, so make sure you check those out, hit the like button, and support those guys because they do some great stuff. And also keep an eye open for Kestis, a Jedi Survivor story coming out on January 30th. May the Force be with you.